night, and then there's just been out from both netminders, because both netminders are outstanding, and we've seen that. We've seen what we see is the best the league can offer in terms of defensive play, which still makes exciting play, and we've seen everything. Do you know what I mean? And I know who scores it for Cardiff, because there's only one person who can score from Cardiff, and Joey Martin gets the win, gets the retribution, gets the revenge. I'm thinking midway, maybe 5 or 10 minutes into the actually maybe not, maybe really quickly into overtime. Just get it done. What was needed was that bit of space.
So there's Cardiff fans thinking, it's probably going to go to 2 overtimes, and the goal takes them by surprise for that extra elation.
Yeah.
And it's not the sort of breakaway, here's the moment, this is it. It's just that shot from nowhere that, light, it's on, it's in.
Get in.
Done.
Take off our clothes and let's go sailing. Yeah, I think that writes their script perfectly, because it would just be so... Because again, to bring in a good script, you've got to have that little bit of doubt, a little bit of drama. And 0-0 against this, oh God, no. And for Cardiff, we always do this. Recent history aside, this is us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you bring back the memories of not over the overtime playoff to Sheffield, but also the overtime 0-0 against Nottingham in the Challenge Cup in Sheffield, that needs avenging as well. A long 0-0 game that goes Cardiff's way, that's ideal.
There's been too many championship games that have ended with Ben Bounds looking up into the sky on his knees. Do you know what I mean? And I think the perfect one is him, hands in the air, wheeling away.
One final bouncy wave.
Yeah, I think so.
Guildford, first playoff appearance. Any win will be brilliant.
Yes.
So can I offer a scenario that I think would make for the greatest game ever?
Oh, well, okay.
Because I've never seen it.
You know what? You should oversell it next time, Jonathan.
No, I've always thought about this as a scenario.
Okay.
It's the player. It doesn't matter who it's against.
Mm-hmm.
Although it would be nice for them to avenge the game against Belfast, with possibly a Belfast player giving the puck away late on.
Yeah.
And Guildford getting their revenge in the same way that Giants took the cup from them. If you're into the final, wouldn't it? It's nice to win it with that dramatic goal that you know is the winner.
Yeah.
It's also nice to get 4 or 5-0 up and just relax and cruise through.
Yeah.
So here's the scenario where you have both.
Okay.
You score early.
Yeah.
You score again.
Yeah.
You score again. 3-0 after the first period.
Okay.
And you're thinking, well, there's a long way to go. But start of the second, you score again. 4-0 up. And there's just nothing else to the end of the second period. And that's it. We've won. The opposite, they've got nothing. They've not tested us all night. We're going to be fine. This is what it feels like to win the playoffs. And then 42nd minute, 4-1. 48th minute, 4-2. No problems here. This is just Coventry against Sheffield. We've seen this game before. 5 minutes to go, 4-3. Okay, we might lose this now. 57th minute, 4-all. Oh my world, your world's collapsed.
Yeah.
I cannot believe we're going to throw this away. 2 minutes to go, hooking penalty. Now we're short-handed. That's it. That's it. They're going to score on us. It's all over. And for the final 2 minutes of the game, the power play is just battering you. And, it's off the post. Oh, what a great save that is. And you're just hanging on for dear life. And with 10 seconds to go, that power play slap shot gets blocked. And it's bouncing out of the zone. And John Dunbar's onto it. And he's away short-handed.
Yeah.
And he scores with 3 seconds left. So you know what it's like to win the game in the most dramatic circumstances, and you know what it feels like to dominate a game.
To be comfortable.
You also know what it feels like to be as low as you possibly can be, because having thrown away a 4-goal lead and then gone short-handed, you know you're going to lose that game.
Does it matter?
It's all the emotions in one.
Does it matter who they play in that
final? I
final?
love a game like that. I don't think it would particularly matter to them.
Yeah? There's not a better script for them? Because
I think it would be more fun for them to beat Nottingham in their own building.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Because I would go Cardiff in that way. Because that comeback is a little bit more believable. I mean, great respect to Nottingham. That kind of comeback is a little bit more believable with Cardiff. But I also get your point. Because that building would be ruckus by 4-4, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would be rocking. Because there would be very few people who weren't wearing Panthers jerseys who would be cheering on
The
Nottingham.
thing that got me thinking about that is when Sheffield got it back to 4-2, Matthew Waugh had a goal disallowed.
I do remember that.
If that had been 4-3 with 5 minutes to go,
Yes.
let's take the temperature of some of those Coventry fans right
Hi,
now.
how y'all doing, guys? Bit better. Been considerably better.
But also take the temperature of them at the 4-0 up. You know, I just want all the drama.
Okay.
And because I don't think there's any sort of perfect script for them in terms of needing this particular player. You might think you probably want one of the long-serving
players.
You know, to get Jesland in to get a goal or two from somewhere. I don't think he's breaking away short-handed. That seems more like it's a Dunbar or a Waters thing.
I know you said it doesn't matter how they win in the semi-final. I'm going to slightly counter that. I think it does a little bit. Because they're playing Belfast. You know, they hurt. That hurt. And I think it would be nice, if we're going to combine our scripts, what if they win the first semi-final 4-0? Like they just did in Braehead. You know, or 3-0 like they just did in Braehead. Do you know what I mean? Where they actually said, no, we've turned a corner as an organisation. Look, we've just shut out the Giants. And then they do the same again halfway through the final. But the script slightly changes, and you know what I mean. I think
you're watching on Sunday, thinking I saw this game yesterday.
Yeah, but the slight change happens at that point. I think the semi final does matter a little bit to add to the flavour to the final. I think.
Is that how Guildford are scripting the end of Belfast Grand Slam?
Yeah, I think so. Just. Because there's not many Guildford fans who are going to care about the Grand Slam. What they are going to remember is how awful the Challenge Cup felt. Because we were good that day, you know. And had to bounce here, bounce there. Could have been our first silverware. Let's be convincing. Yeah, so I think the semi-final, especially because they have previous, you know. They've been to Glasgow and beaten them 3-0. In their own barn. I mean, what were the odds?
Well, it was 5-0. We've tacked the empty netters on.
Yeah,
the majority of the game.
The majority of the game was 3-0. Like, how many bookmakers would have given you that? Again, you can talk about Glasgow's previous in playoffs and all the rest of it, but that's not a bad side in Glasgow at all. It's good quality.
4th place team.
Good quality, good team, and they've kept the coach because they see it. And they went and they blanked them in their own barn. I just think them doing it again and then looking like they're going to do it again, I think that just adds a bit of drama.
Also, it has to be Cardiff then.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, because there was that game where Guildford were 3-0 up and Cardiff scored 3 times late on.
Yes, they did.
And pinch it in overtime. But this time, there's an extra 2 minutes for Cardiff to go and win it. Mm-hmm. And they've got the power play.
Yeah.
We're not going to get saved by overtime here. We're not going to get a couple of minutes on the bench to sort ourselves out and go and win it in overtime. We're going to lose now. We already burned our time out at 4-2. That's it. It's all over. We're going to lose. Oh my God, we've broken away and won it.
Yeah, okay. I'm into that. I wouldn't mind watching that. All right. Deep breath.
How do Nottingham get their playoff trophy back? Because, let's face it, they win it more often than most. So, they've won plenty. They've won the high scorers. They've won low scorers. They've won in overtime. How do they win this one? And who do they win it against?
I think you're right to say, when we were talking about this before, we were looking at all four of them in terms of narratives. Nottingham perhaps are the hardest to put a narrative into because their season has been quite meh.
They lost more games than the Steelers.
Yeah.
Lost 31 games.
Yeah,
Loads of overtime defeats
to
pump up the points total, but they lost more games than the team that finished 7th.
Yeah. And, you know, they've had a coaching change and, you know, all that. But there's no overwhelming narrative to their season. Do you see what I mean? Because that's what you normally try and do in these kind of moments. You try and replicate a season in a semi-final and in a final. Because again, I can't even think of a player who deserves to get the goal because he was last year. Do you see what I mean? So, take it step by step. They've got a tough first game. So I think all of this is about how scrappy can they win this playoffs? How and I mean dirty, not in terms of like physicality, but like how much can they just steal one? Because that would be what this team does. It works hard, it grinds out, and it's just going to steal your playoffs right when you had us written off. Do you see what I mean? I think that's the kind of playoff that would suit the fans, because there was a moment when Steelers were doing very well against Cardiff. And I was like, oh my God, what if they win the playoffs? You know what I mean? Oh, what if we win the playoffs? I mean, great for some players, but oh God. Do you know what I mean? When you think about players who've won out for the club, they'd be playoff champions. No. And I think if you ask Nottingham fans right now, they'd say there's plenty of players who they would feel like, ugh, I can't see it. Do you see what I mean? But they're there, the dance and all the rest of it. So I think it's about how they can just grind it out over 2 games.
Let me put a semi-final scenario in place for you then. How about the sort of game where they get a couple in front and Cardiff keep fighting back and Nottingham keep pulling away?
Yeah.
So it's 2-0, then 2-1, then 3-1,
it's just a slugfest.
Back to 3-2. Up to 4-2, back to 4-all, then 5-4, 6-4, back to 6-5. So Cardiff keep chasing, and Nottingham, just like the bully with the hand on the head of the smaller child, swing as much as you like, we're in front, you're not getting ahead of us on
it's
this
just
one.
A slugfest.
This is our building, you don't win here.
It's rights, it's lefts, it's nasty, it's got a nasty feel about it. Because I think the fans would love to win one like that. Does that make sense? Because they've always been that kind of Hollywood team, haven't they? That's the way they've always like to carry themselves, is that kind of Hollywood team. And I think them having the dirty win, the ground out win, you know what? F you. F everybody who's called this team average. F everybody who calls this organisation glamorous or whatever. We can be dirty, we can play rough, we can play gruesome and get a good win. And I think there's going to come slug. Just slug it.
The Robert Farmer show in that situation.
Yeah.
That's the sort of game he excels in.
And maybe he's the hero. Maybe that's the kind of... Maybe he gets the goal. That grindy, miserable... somebody's going to have to put a stick on it. Who's put a stick on it? Who cares? Oh, it's Robert Farmer.
He has to pinch the puck from Evan Mosey, though.
Yes, he does. Absolutely. Yeah, no, actually, that's brilliant. Let's do that. Yeah, Evan Mosey has got a chance to clear. Oh, no, it's Farmer. Brilliant. So who do they play in the final? Or does it matter?
It has to be Belfast. There is a history of Nottingham-Belfast games. And in finals, the Challenge Cup, they always seem to go the Panthers' way. They always find a way to get it done against the Giants in big games. Or at least it seems that way in recent years. And to end the Giants' Grand Slam hopes, so that the Panthers' Grand Slam is still...
intact.
The Grand Slam.
Yeah, that's true.
Of record in recent years. Do you want to win it in overtime again, like they did for their own Grand Slam?
I think so. But I am going to make a little bit of a call for why I think it should be Guildford rather than Belfast.
Okay, let's hear
it. Belfast versus Nottingham, that crowd is going to be pretty... It's going to be pretty neutral. You know. Because...
Well, you'll have Sheffield fans on...
Are they?
The majority are going to be on Belfast side.
I don't think when you talk about sides, they're going to just be interested in Belfast winning. It'd be nice if Belfast winning. You see what I mean? I don't think there's going to be a core set of fans there who'll be desperate for Belfast to win. Yeah? Guildford.
It's everyone against the Panthers.
It's everybody against them.
Okay.
And the Panthers fans would love it. They would love it. Bring the heat. Bring the hate. We don't care. We hate us because we win. You know, stick the V's up in the corner and we grind out a win. I think that, you know, in wrestling terms, it's like I don't want to call them heels because they're not, but like in wrestling terms, it's being brought down and going, do you know what? Back's going